As a former New Hampshire state representative who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King in 1963, he currently serves on the New Hampshire Commission for Human Rights. He's a product of Birmingham, Alabama, where at one time he had to guess how many jelly beans were in a fruit jar just to be able to vote.
We've come a long way, but we're not there yet.
Together we will explore the visible laws, invisible laws, and the structures above and beneath our human surface that keep us reaching for the stars. It is his goal to work with you in putting Nashua back on top, to be voted the #1 city in the nation again.
We are in a crisis situation, and that's what we're going to talk about.
I'm Harvey Keye. Welcome to Nashua Strong.
Hello, Nashua. Thank you so much for allowing us to come into your living rooms and your dining rooms and on the beach or wherever you are in Nashua and bring to you some of the most amazing ice cream being made right in front of your face. But let me say this to you before that. I want to say that, Nashua Strong represents the city on a shining hill just outside of Boston. It's only about 35, 40 minutes from here. But we are one of the largest places in the world to raise your kids without any harm. We've been voted, actually, in the last Money magazine in the last month and the month before, the 1 and 2 number place cities in the state, in the United States, actually, to raise a family. So we're really proud of that accomplishment by our outstanding mayor called Jim Donches and a crew of people who helped him do that. Now, this is going to be a little different than most of our videotapes, videographs, or what do we call it? Videographs, right? Okay, the guy who's doing this says, yes, it's okay. So it's a videography. We've had SubZero ice cream on our show before, but we've never had it like this. We're now downtown Nashua, and the people who run it are called Mark and Rita McCabe. And I'm going to ask them a few questions later on, but I want to tell you that I had him on the show maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I think the lady who gave me a sample that turned me on to this marvelous idea had a pocket full of happiness when she said, Harvey, try it, you might like it. So this is what we have today for you. We have Mark and Rita McCabe, who I'll ask them the question. They'll tell you how they came about beginning a new business that they never dreamed of. Entrepreneurship deep in their souls that I don't know why, and they do know why, and they're going to tell you why. So that's it for me right now, but I'll be back. But let me introduce you to Mark and Rita McCabe. And I'm going to ask Rita and Mark a few questions. I don't know who's going to answer this. Where did you go to school? How old are you? I'm not sure how old you are, but where were you born, Mark and Rita?
Well, I'll start. I was born here in Nashua, up at St. Joe's.
And what about you, Mark?
Natick, Massachusetts.
They're close by, right across the road, you know. And where did you go to school?
Natick School Systems.
Navy School System.
Natick.
Natick School System.
Natick, Massachusetts, yeah.
Pelham.
Pelham. And let me ask you this. What did you do before you got into the ice cream business?
That's a great question. 20 years.
Your first job. First job out of high school, out of school.
Out of high school, I went right into the Navy.
And then your first paycheck?
The world's finest Navy.
Okay, that's your opinion, but that's okay, we'll accept that. What was your first paycheck about, can you remember?
I think it was about $400 a month.
$400 a month. That would get about today's paycheck. But what about you, Rita? When you got out of high school, high school is okay.
Yeah.
What was your first job?
My first job out of high school, I was working at Aquarius Manufacturing down the street at Lake Street, a small manufacturing family-owned business. And from there, I ended up getting my degree at NCC, which was Nashua Voc Tech at the time.
Okay.
And I got a job in Haverhill, Massachusetts for 15 years.
What was your first paycheck worth? About how much? $1.55?
Yeah, probably a couple $100.
Ah, boy.
I don't remember.
Well, there's a difference in today and yesterday. And I just wanted to bring you up now. Your background has been working in different kinds of industries and that kind of thing. Nothing having to do with ice cream.
True.
Were you ever inspired in high school and in the Navy to become an entrepreneur, Mr. Mark?
No,
No.
no.
What about you, Rita? Did anybody excite you and say, look, you look like a businesswoman, or you think like a businesswoman, or that was someplace hidden in your genes?
I can honestly say when I worked for the family business here in Nashua that's what first inspired me.
That you wanted to own a
I
business?
wanted to own a business someday. I'm like, I could do this.
Okay, now, we're going to move forward a little bit. How in the world, I am so curious, that you sat in one place, watched TV, and decided to get into the ice cream business. How did you do that?
Well, that was
What sparked you at that time?
that was a Friday evening. I was sitting we were both in our office, 6 desks, six feet apart. And
did you have an office together? Doing
at
what?
the house. At our house.
What would you do your business?
I was doing VFW state commander work.
Yeah.
And Rita was doing VFW auxiliary work.
Were you getting paid for that?
No, volunteer.
Well, where did you get the money from to run a household?
Well, I work for BAE Systems.
Oh, okay.
As a quality
so
engineer.
now we have a stream of money. So
Yes.
at that time, you were sitting in your office doing volunteer work for the good of the people of this country.
The veterans, right?
The good of all people in this country.
True.
Okay. And you saw this picture on TV called Shark Tank.
I asked Rita, I said, hey, is anybody at your work talking about some show called Shark Tank? And she said, no, what's that? I said, I don't know, people at my work are talking about it. It's coming on in 40 minutes or so. She says, well, click on the TV and we'll watch it when we have a chance. So I turned on the TV and went back. I went back to work. She went back to work. And a little while later, all of a sudden, there was a commotion. And it was Jerry and Naomi Hancock, the founders of SubZero nitrogen ice cream.
What's their name again?
Jerry and Naomi Hancock,
Where are they from?
Provo, Utah.
Okay, they were on Shark Tank.
True.
Correct.
What were they trying to do on Shark Tank?
They were pitching the process and to the sharks in hopes of getting a deal to help bring SubZero nationally.
And they were turned down.
Yes.
They were, oh, no, we don't want that.
Well, true. But
And how did you get involved?
we watched the show, did some research for 6 months, and went out and visited with them and talked about what we could do here in New England. And
We were super excited about it because we were like, this is the coolest thing ever. We got to bring this to New England.
true.
And New England itself is the coldest place in the country. And why do you
Sometimes.
think ice cream will be selling here?
Well, because New Englanders love their ice cream and New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island are in the top 4 for ice cream consumption annually per capita in New England.
Say that again, so the audience
in the
would
US.
know.
4 New England states
Yeah.
are in the top 10 for ice cream consumption per capita every year.
And-
so is Wisconsin and Utah.
And you dug that up in your research.
Correct.
And that's one of the reasons you were driven to occupy this.
Yes.
Yes.
And so you had to buy a franchise
True.
from this Utah. Where is this guy from?
Provo.
He designed a system called SubZero.
True.
Was it in operation some other place?
Yes, they're in Utah.
Just in Utah?
Yes. For instance, we've
No,
been in
they had other stores at the time too. They were
Arizona.
Okay.
Indianapolis was the
Right.
closest one to New England at the time. So
Okay, so you got to, now, when you get a franchise, according to my investigation, you have to have state and federal regulation.
course.
the license. Did that turn you on or off?
It's just,
You
part,
had to do that.
it's just part of the process.
Yeah, it's part of the process.
Right.
My job at BAE was dealing with government paperwork day in and day out. So
We're well
we weren't
schooled.
afraid of that.
And I'm a quality engineer.
Yeah.
So we're both about compliance.
Exactly. So, we've got to comply with government regulations.
So
No big
that
deal.
got you hot and intrigued
Sure.
and motivated to say, let's invest some money.
True.
Because we're going to take it. Now, when you got the franchise, was it just for Nashua, New Hampshire?
We bought the rights to New England right out of the gate.
New England includes what?
New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island.
Not New York.
Massachusetts.
Not New York. Not New York. So you got six
We got
states.
6 states, yeah.
6 states. And how many states are you operative in now at this moment?
2 at the moment.
Which ones are they?
New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
How many outlets do you have?
We have 5 locations
And how
now.
long have you been in business?
9 years.
9 years.
Yes.
9 years, and you got 5 locations.
And we have a franchise that was up in Ashland, New Hampshire. She was
Yeah.
under us.
A
Yeah.
seasonal.
She was a seasonal up
Okay,
in the Lakes
okay.
region, and we have
Yeah.
another franchisee
Yeah.
that is in Ashland,
Yeah, okay.
Mass
That's
shortly.
fine.
Opening up.
That's great. Now, we have some people coming in. They may be employees or maybe want to buy some ice cream, but we're not going to let them do that right now because we're right now on TV and you can watch as an audience, and thank you very much. Does it sound like Elvis? Okay, good enough. Now, you got license to operate in 6 states.
Correct.
And you're operating right now in 2 states.
Correct.
And you have the background that you learned from Provo. Is it Provost or
Provo.
Provo.
Provo, Utah.
Yes.
And that guy, what is his name?
Jerry Hancock.
Is he a chemist?
He is a chemist.
Did he invent 328 degrees below zero?
Well, he didn't invent it. It's been done for many years, but he perfected it so that he was able to obtain a patent. And
do
back
it
to the Shark
commercially,
Tank,
yeah.
when he went on Shark Tank, the patent was not yet approved.
I understand that Shark Tank right now is trying to buy from you for $4 or $5 million, and you said no.
I wish.
you didn't get
Where'd
that
you hear
at-
I
Where'd you
didn't
hear
get that. I didn't
Where'd
get
you
that
hear
memo. I didn't get that memo.
Okay. How does SubZero affect I don't want to talk about Nashua
Okay.
because Nashua strong is where I belong.
Correct.
So what do you think you bring to Nashua in terms of strength, in terms of culture, in terms of uplift, in terms of beauty, in terms of happiness, in terms of education? And give me a little bit of sample of what you're doing with kids in school and parties.
Literally one of the core tenets of SubZero is to teach the youth of America. So we go out and do STEM programs, hundreds of thousands of students in the 9 years we've been in business.
Let me ask you this, hundreds of thousands at no charge?
No, there is a fee.
There is a fee.
Yes.
You're not going to tell me the fee because we don't talk about money, right? There's a fee. It's a small fee.
It's a very
Everything
small.
costs money in this
yes,
world.
Right.
but the biggest bang for that buck is in education,
True.
in chemistry, physics, and biology for kids in the first, second, and third grade.
We've done pre-K all the way up through assisted living places, and everybody in between.
Could I call you amazing? Would you accept that?
With a capital A.
Okay, well, I don't know about that, Mark. At any rate, we are on a roll here in terms of your location, downtown Nashua. Jim Donchis was here when you opened.
True.
Yep.
Gave you some flowers and a hello, how do you do? And here we are at
83 Main.
83 Main.
Is this the best location you can find?
It was available.
It's available.
So I happened to be driving. We were on Amherst Street for 7.5 years.
Yeah.
And we were driving by.
You had no foot traffic
True, no foot traffic.
and you lost a few bucks.
40.
We were the destination there.
Right.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
our own destination. But let me take you back. You were asking about what we've also brought to the city other than STEM education. We are hiring youth. Many of our youth, many of our staff, their first jobs.
Are these high school students?
True.
Yes.
How long can they work for you?
As long as they want. We have one employee who's been with us 8 years.
Some of these kids are on their parents' insurance and what have you. Is that a problem?
No.
Is your rate of turnover a lot?
Well, we could say they age out because they go off to
They
college.
age out, yeah.
But we have one employee who's been with us 8 years. We now
And you've only been in business for 9.
That's true.
And we now offer 401k.
What is his position with your company now?
He's a team lead.
He's a team leader?
Right.
Okay. Where can they go when they come in and be trained how to serve this 328 degrees below zero ice cream?
-3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Where can they go in this organization?
They can go from being what we call them science technician is our entry level position. That's usually the 16-year-old's first job type of thing. They can move up to team lead, and if they stay with us
Are you
long
happy
enough.
that you left the corporate world?
I'm still in the corporate world.
He still works at BAE.
I do.
I left my BAE export compliance
So
job.
you're now the CEO
I'm all
and the
in.
president,
Yeah, that's true.
and you're the helper.
She's the big boss. I'm
Yeah.
I'm cheap labor. Yes.
Well, you know that we're going to see this show is going to be seen about 90,000 people in Nashua, hopefully on Channel 96, and around the world on YouTube. Let me ask you maybe finally, how many flavors do you have, and how competitive is that with the regular other ice cream companies? We won't name them. We know who they are.
We have 50 individual flavors and 35 individual mix-ins. But because there's no ice cream when you walk in here, you're getting to choose the flavors and mix-ins and the combinations that get created. So there's literally millions and millions of combinations you can create.
So if you want pumpkin, you can order pumpkin. If you want pumpkin and cinnamon, you get pumpkin cinnamon. If you want pumpkin cinnamon and cheesecake,
How long does it take if I came in here to get ice cream?
Well, once
Depends
you
how
figure
long
out
you
what
decide what you
wanna
want.
do,
If I
yeah.
know what I want, I came in, I want pumpkin and
we
jayberry.
can make this in 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yes.
If I want to take some ice cream home, and I live in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, it takes me an hour to get there, how fast will it melt?
we can over freeze it and pack it to go. Delivery, so during COVID, Delivery service.
No, not anything
It'll
about
melt.
that.
Yeah, it
I'm
melts a
saying
lot
to you,
slower.
if I walk in here and I want a quart of ice cream, how long will it last?
Sure.
An hour?
Sure.
An hour and a half?
No, I'd say an hour.
An hour.
Well, it just starts to melt. First
Okay.
of all, it has no air in it. It's solid.
What do you mean it
Whatever,
doesn't have
whatever
air?
you get here, custard, yogurt, ice cream, it's solid.
Mr. McCabe.
Sir, solid cream.
Well, how is it that you make ice cream without air and water?
Well, everybody else does that. They fluff it up. Conceptualize this. The Cool Whip container. You take the lid off and it's full, correct? How heavy is that container? It's light as a feather. It's a bazillion microscopic air bubbles.
Sir, I want to
This
know
is
this.
solid
I want to
cream.
know this. I want to know this.
Yeah.
How much air is in your ice cream?
None.
Zero.
Why?
It's part of the process. The liquid nitrogen freezes the cream so fast that air molecules can't get in between.
How
them.
much water is in your ice cream?
Zero.
So then, therefore, you're telling me that when you come to SubZero, you get pure ice cream for your money.
Or custard.
When you go to
yeah.
other ice cream places, that is inclusive of all and exclusive of none. You get 50% ice cream and 50% of water and air.
Or whatever it might be.
That's
So
right.
you think about soft serve, right? The machine churns it and fluffs it up with air. So the more air in your ice cream product, the faster it melts.
Yeah.
So that's why soft serve is
You have no
typically-
air, no water.
That's why it melts so
and-
fast.
Okay.
It's
All
soft.
right. Looks like we're coming to an end of our lovely discussion, and I hope that perhaps the videographer can get some of this caption of SubZero ice cream that is now available in 6 states. 6 states? It's available. You only have.
We have locations in two at the
states.
moment, but we're
You
always
have.
looking for franchisees that want to open up and
Right.
all
Well,
over New England.
we'll
There's
help
lots
them.
of primo spots.
and do you have a marketing department? His name is it Harvey Keye?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Harvey
He's
is
a
your
master.
marketing guy.
Harvey.
He's a
Okay,
master.
He's the master. He's the vice president of sales. Okay. We're coming to an end, folks. I want to tell you again that we're so happy to be in your presence with these lovely entrepreneurs right downtown Nashua, New Hampshire, bringing to our citizens some of the best product I call ice cream in the world. Now, I had a couple of questions that I didn't want to ask now, but I want to say it to you that when the mayor came down and introduced you to this place,
Yes.
you introduced him, Rita and Mark McCabe came with a pocket full of happiness. And they've been passing out that pocket full of happiness ever since they've been in this town. Thank you so much, folks, and may God bless you.
And you as well.
You as well.
Thank you, Rita.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs.
Thanks for coming over and
CEO and Mrs. President for this marvelous interview going around the world.
come on down, get some awesome ice cream.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We'll develop one called the Harvey Keye Special.
And we'll make you
You
smile.
might make that. Will
can work on
will
that.
that be a fee?
No
Or
royalties.
will that be in revenue?
No royalties.
No royalties. All right, thank you. I don't know if we shut off yet, but I want to thank the guys who are behind the scene. One of those guys happened to be George Russell, and he's peeking over the back of your shoulder, but he's the engine behind much of this now. We want to thank George and the young man who's now a new videographer in the town of Nashua, New
Welcome
Hampshire.
to the United
and
States.
the people who are in the back of this thing at the studio, who edits, puts it up perfectly so that the world can see what you're doing.
We have to say thank you to our
Yes.
staff.
We want to thank our
Thanks to the staff.
is what makes this all happen, and they make everybody smile every day.
And the young people, we're still on, George. We're still on the young people in the world. Hopefully we'll find a way to go upward and better,
Absolutely.
as is the motto of Riviera University.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Stay safe. Stay wise. Carry a pocket full of happiness with you every step you take. Thank you, folks. See you next time.
Thank you.